Hi, so my name is Asta, and I've recently moved to Berlin with my husband from India. It's only been 3 months since we moved here, but it kind of feels like it's been 3 years, but also 3 weeks. So much has happened in the last 3 months, and I've been observing so much, thinking so much. I've had so many thoughts and feelings, and I've gone through like a whole barrage of emotions. And I felt like, you know, maybe I want to talk about all of this and just put it out there. So, for anyone who's been in Berlin or who is going to move to Berlin or has just moved to Berlin, this might help you get a little more perspective. But yeah, so this video I wanted to talk about just my first impressions of Berlin and the things that I have seen so far that I've really loved. So, the number one thing is the lifestyle. Even though Germany is known for its efficiency, punctuality, thoroughness, doing everything on time, all of that. But I feel like Berlin as a city has a really different vibe. I feel like people here just want to chill. I feel like everyone who's like this carefree, laid back, free spirited soul migrates towards Berlin. And the thing about Berlin is, even though it's like a city and it's huge and it can have that effect on you that, you feel like, wow, I mean, I'm just lost in a big city. It still feels like you can be who you are over here, and you're not really known for your work or how much money you make or how successful you are in life, whatever that means. People here actually value things that are outside of work. And even on weekdays, actually, it's really easy to set your boundaries here. And if you're from Asia and if you're from India, you might find this really strange at first, that it is possible that you work from 9 to 5 and then 5 o'clock you just shut your laptop and you go out and you live and you do things that you want to do, and nobody's going to question you. I feel like this city gives you the chance to do other things, make space for stuff apart from work. And now that I'm here and I do have time, I'm kind of blanking out. I'm asking myself questions like, who am I if I'm not working? So that's number one. Number two is the culture of the city. I feel like Berlin has had such a tragic history. I mean, most of it was actually destroyed during the war, and they had to rebuild and reconstruct everything. And also, because of the Berlin Wall, there was a lot of emotional and political divide and strife and pain. It's still quite fresh, but I think Berlin is one great example of how you can convert places that are known for war and destruction and violence and hate to places that are known for their peace and unity and love and beauty, and you see this all over the city. You see so many examples. Like, I'm actually realizing how much history people here have preserved and how much they are not denying it. They're not denying what happened, but at the same time, they're also really focused on moving forward, and they openly talk about love and peace and freedom and human rights. The third thing that I would like to talk about is nature. And I know for people who live in like other parts of Germany may not feel that way about Berlin, and it's all relative. And they might feel like Berlin is too concrete and it's too much like a city. But I'm coming from India, And I feel like Berlin has really incorporated nature into just the everyday life. Like you have so many parks, like everywhere. Like the city is full of parks. You see trees everywhere. You have like 3,000 lakes. For me personally, I love seeing the green, and I love seeing uh, flowers on the roads, and come across like strawberry fields and sunflower fields, and it's just all part of a bustling city. My fourth point is about how multicultural Berlin is. Now, again, this is relative. If you compare Berlin to, say, Singapore or Dubai, you might find more diversity there. You might find people from literally all over coexisting. But compared to other cities in Germany, Berlin is definitely more like a melting pot, and you'll see people from all over Europe. You'll see Asians, you'll see people from the Middle East, and you do see that mix of cultures, and that's why you will also see so many different cuisines when you're just walking on the road. Like you'll see Vietnamese food, of course, Italian and Mexican, Sudanese, Lebanese, Afghan, and so there is a huge group of international people here. And in fact, you have Facebook groups, WhatsApp groups. There are so many ways of reaching out and meeting these people, especially if you're a beginner and you don't know German. Just join one of these groups and you'll find enough variety and diversity in terms of cultures and backgrounds, which is something I really liked about Berlin. Also, it's like a startup hub, so it's not that difficult to find a job even if you're not from like a tech background. And the thing is, like, now more and more companies are opening to this whole idea of global teams, international hiring, remote work, right? And especially since the pandemic. So now you'll see more and more of these openings which are not location specific or language specific. So I was lucky enough to find a job, like an English speaking job. So like my husband works in a company where maybe like 10% of all the employees are German. They encourage people from different countries, they help them migrate, they help them with the moving, which I think is really great. So just this variety and just the fact that there are people from different countries who are welcomed here and they have made a life here and they're loving it and they're enjoying it, it just makes you feel more at home. And the fifth and final point is just how pretty and artsy this city is. And for someone like me who tends to romanticize everything, it just blows my mind. If you start walking down any street in Berlin, you will come across the most gorgeous restaurants, cafes, bookstores, museums. And by the way, there are 175 museums in Berlin alone. So you can imagine just the amount of culture and history and art they have preserved. It doesn't matter what you're into, you will find your tribe and you will find that avenue for you to pursue your interests. Like there's so many vegan restaurants here, there are so many yoga studios, dance studios, there are clubs, there are bars, there are so many different types of nature walks and music festivals and concerts. Like there's always so much happening in the city that I completely lose track. And we have been doing some fun things, like we went to Babylon, which is one of the oldest theaters here, and we watched a Charlie Chaplin movie with like a live orchestra playing in the background, and that was amazing. I had never experienced anything like that before. And we also have been going to open air movies. I've never watched a movie sitting under the stars, so for me it was like such a dreamy experience. And then we have been going to parks and just picnicking, and this is something that I find is really unique to people here. Like people actually sit in parks and read physical books. or they play games, or they talk to each other. You don't see a lot of people on their phones here, except in public transport, but that I can understand. I used to dream about living in another country, meeting people, and I don't know, I just wanted to be away and to discover who else I could be. Having said that, not all of this, everything that comes with moving also comes with some baggage and some loneliness, a lot of loneliness, some isolation. For now, I can say that I'm absolutely in love with Berlin and I'm in awe of it. Couldn't be happier. If you do have any questions about Berlin, if you're planning a visit, if you're about to move, anything I could help you with, do let me know, and I'll see you next time. Bye.